Hello there. Yes, I'm making this and I'm being a bit of a jerk while I'm making this. But November 18th of this year, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet releases, and I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream, and I would like to see you all there. That's right, November 18th. That's a Friday, 24-hour stream. I will be doing it, and I will be having fun. So come on by, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, do all that stuff, and yeah, we'll have fun. Well, moment of hypocrisy and stupidity, and the fact that the internet lives forever and we can fact check you on everything that you guys are saying right now. Because George R.R. Martin and Neil frickin' Gaiman had to point at the actual screen, not screen number 2. Agree. Be faithful to the source material. Game of Thrones fell off a cliff, was not super faithful for the source material, and ended up pissing off fans. House of the Dragon, it's good. We are very much enjoying it. Isn't faithful for the source material, but it is close enough, and it's hitting all the points. Sandman was not faithful to the source material, from my understanding, and I brought up examples. So don't you dare try to say that you should be faithful for the source material, because George, don't know how much control, because we keep getting told different things. But Neil frickin' Gaiman, you defended that piss poor show. You told fans that they were awful people if they don't like it. You told fans that they were too stupid if they didn't like it. That was too surreal for them and they didn't like it. And now you're coming out saying, you just have to be faithful to the source material. Trust me, trust me. You weren't faithful to your own source material and you attacked people who didn't like it. Authors George R.R. Martin and Neil Gaiman have both stepped into the TV industry to produce adaptations of their own novels. And they can agree on one thing. It's good for creators of adaptations to remain faithful to the source material. We've been saying that, not them. George is only coming out now because everybody hates Game of Thrones and are criticizing it constantly. House of the Dragon, I liked it. I know plenty of people that know the original story that hate it because it's not connected. I read House of the Dragon. It's been a while. I know there's deviations. I'm enjoying it. On Thursday night, the two held a conversation about their work at New York City's Symphony Space, speaking about their careers and Martin's new book, The Rise of Dragon, an illustration history of Targaryen, whatever. It's his new Targaryen lineage book. How faithful do you have to be? Some people don't feel that they have to be faithful at all, Martin said, according to Variety's recap of the events. There's this phrase that goes around, I'm going to make it my own. I hate that phrase, and I think Neil probably hates that phrase too. Obviously, he doesn't fucking care. I do, Gaiman said. I spent 30 years watching people make Sandman their own, and some of those people hadn't even read Sandman to make it their own. They just flipped through a few comics or something. You mean like how in your show that you defended and attacked people for? Death? Oh, how about Lucifer? Oh, I know Desire is actually a girl in the comic. Desire's a non-binary dude in the show. But I didn't know this one. Yeah, you changed him to her. Desire to a non-binary dude. How many of these do I have to go through? How many of these examples do we have that we can point out Joanna Constantine over using John Constantine? How many examples, Neil, of your pathetic show that I watched and I reviewed, and they're shit, but I'll have my playlist of it all, because I did it all off my phone. How many examples do we have of your own show that you defended and attacked fans over that weren't faithful to its original series? How many, Neil? While the duo agreed that the people behind adaptations often dishonor their source material, Martin later clarified that it's important for adaptations to stay fully faithful. That's all we've ever wanted, but even George, House of the Dragon you're a part of, it's not fully faithful. It's hitting notes and is at least staying in vein, but it's not fully faithful. Where's the magic? Huh? Where's all the characters that you have cut out? What about in Game of Thrones? There's plenty of characters that you guys cut out of Game of Thrones. And you were a part from season 1 till at least season 5. You were a part of that. Where's the magic? Where's Duncan Egg? Where's Lady Stoneheart in Game of Thrones? Huh, George? There are changes that you have to make, or that you're called upon to make, that I think are legitimate, Martin said. And there are other ones that are not legitimate. We've been saying that, you frickin'... We've been saying that for years. When we come out and defend a show, or say, hey, it's not staying faithful to the source material, all we've ever wanted is for you to either stay 100% perfect or get as close to humanly possible, because there are some things that just can't get adapted correctly, and we accept that, but we want you there, not all the way in 10 buck frickin' 2. Why is the Iron Throne in Game of Thrones not the Iron Throne as described in the books? Why is it not 15 feet high and made of 10,000 swords? Because the ceiling in our soundstage was not 15 feet high, Martin added. We couldn't fit it in there, and they weren't willing to give us St. Paul's Cathedral as Westminster Abbey to shoot our little show in. Legitimate point. But what about the magic? What about the fact that there are no White Walkers in the Game of Thrones books? There are the others, but there's no White Walkers. What about Duncan Egg? What about Lady Stoneheart? What about the fact that in the books, Stannis Baratheon isn't dead? Martin recalled working on an adaptation of Roger Zelensky's The Last Defender of Camelot, and that he was given a choice between including horses or a more elaborate set. Martin's solution was to call up Zelensky. Why that feels weird. Zelensky, who suggested the show scrap the horses. Changes to the original source material have long been a major point of contention for fans of Game of Thrones, who have debated everything from the absence of Lady Stoneheart to a particularly controversial moment at the end of House of the Dragon's 8th episode. The Sandman, by comparison, has been quite a bit more faithful. No, you don't get to say that. Lady Death, Lucifer, Desire, and as I scroll up to find it again, because I used it earlier, where is it? Here. So no, it has not. This is in part because Gaiman took on a direct role in developing the Sandman. So Gaiman admits he fucked up his own story, which we gave a 9 in our review. Yeah, well, you guys are IG and you're a shield to everything. Martin, for his part, also continues to have an active role in House of the Dragon, which we also gave a 9. See, that should tell you something, because Sandman is a solid 3. 4 to 3. 3 to 4. In my books, House of the Dragon is a solid 8 or 9. I'll give it that. But House of the Dragon, when we talk about differences between the books and the show, we have legitimate criticism. You know, Rhaenyra and Alicent, they're kind of looking like victims versus actual awful human beings. But that's different. You know, the ending of the show, we have something very faithful to the book. People aren't very much liking it. I, for one, I liked it. I liked it a lot. Oh my god, thank you, OB670 just subscribed. I completely forgot my sound alerts are still on. So you get a shout out in this video. Anyways, though, I'm going to quickly turn off some of these sound alerts. I think I got them all. I don't know. There we go. Okay. That was an accident. Sorry, folks. But anyways, back to my point. There's legitimate discussion around House of the Dragon. When it came to Sandman, people hated it. And when people came out and said, hey, we hate this crap because of legitimate frickin' points, you called us awful people and said we were too stupid to understand it. So no, George, you're on thin ice. You've always been on thin ice. Neil, you do not get to say this. Because this is you being a prick. This is you not being able to... You're saying this to try to get people to watch your shit. But it continues to look like Sandman isn't getting a season 2. And you're pissed off about it. Because nobody watched your pathetic show. We wanted people to stay as close to the source material as possible, and you didn't. And now you're mad that you're mad at everybody because they refuse to watch your show. And in fact, you want to know something? Before you guys call me transphobe, racist, or whatever, I liked Desire in the show. I did. I found Desire actually terrifying. And I enjoyed it. But we're not going to get a season 2 because your show didn't stay faithful. Because you pissed off your fans. Because you started telling people, if they didn't like it, that they were stupid. That was too surreal for them. So go fuck yourself, Neil Gaiman. With that being said, guys, give me your thoughts down in the comments below. Give it a thumbs up if you liked the video. Share it out with all your friends. Subscribe to the channel. And hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.